Hey sis, I'm pregnant!
Huh? Oh, I see. That's great. Congratulations.
I forgot to tell you, but I'm 8 months gone.
Wait, what? 8 months already?
Yep, I'll be having a home birth at Mom and Dad's place tomorrow. See you there.
Tomorrow?
You got a problem with that?
No, I mean, it's great that you're doing a home birth at your mom and dad's place, but I just wish you'd have told me this a little earlier so I could have had a chance to adjust my plans.
Excuse me? Since when did I have to get permission from my sister-in-law for everything I do? Are you my boss now? Anyway, you've been married to my brother, what, like 10 years now? How is it that you still haven't had any kids? I don't know whose fault it is, but there has to be something wrong with one of you. So, who is it? Are you a barren wasteland, or is he shooting blanks? In any case, I'm being kind enough to let the two of you look after heavily pregnant me tomorrow. Think of it as kind of like preparation for if you two ever manage to conceive. You better treat me well. I want to see the gratitude in every word, facial expression, and gesture.
Why me?
Because you're my brother's woman, obviously.
Right, I see. So you'll be arriving tomorrow afternoon?
That's right.
Got it.
Anya, sis, are you there? Hey, respond now. My room's like covered in dust. Did you really think this is acceptable? This is the room my little boy's gonna be born in, and you have the nerve to leave it in that state? Will you please get it cleaned up ASAP?
Sylvie, I'm at work right now.
What? You call that work? Don't make me laugh. You're just holed up in your room like always. Mom and Dad were complaining about how you're always up there typing away on your computer like some video game addicted cave-dwelling beast.
I've told you this countless times since coming home, but I work from home. I can do my job entirely from my bedroom. Just because I'm at home during the day doesn't mean I'm lazing around or have nothing to do. If anything, I'm busier now that I was back in my office days. I'm not opposed to helping look after you while you're pregnant, but there's a physical limit to how much I'm able to do.
Excuse me?
I understand you're heavily pregnant, and I understand you can't move around as well as you used to. But that said, you can still do some things for yourself, and you don't need me waiting on you hand and foot 24/7. Not only that, but your mom's always around if you need her. Please stop trying to force everything on me.
Wow, how dare you! Are you seriously trying to force your duties onto my elderly mother? How despicable! That's just bullying, plain and simple. You're bullying your mother-in-law. Who knew my sister-in-law had such a rotten personality? It's such a shame. I used to think you were nice back then when we first met, but it seems like you got too comfortable with my brother, and now you think you can say and do whatever you like. It's scary. Are you gonna bully me too? I'm gonna feel like super uncomfortable around you now.
Oh, give me a break, Sylvie. I'm hardly telling you and your mom to do everything, am I? All I'm asking is that you do the things you can do by yourself, and that she help with the things she's able to help with.
You're so horrible! How could you be this mean-spirited? You're like some kind of movie villain. You're twisted! Wah! Wah!
Actually, I'm the one who wants to cry.
Hey, Anya. Everything okay?
Hey, Charlie.
I heard from an old classmate who lives in the same neighborhood as my folks. Apparently, my little sister moved in with you guys when I got transferred away for work, and you've been having a real hard time of it lately. Is it true? Is everything okay, Anya? What's going on?
Well...
My sister and parents have always had a poor attitude towards you. I know that. But I did tell you to tell me if anything happened with him, didn't I? You could talk to me about anything.
I'm sorry. I didn't want it to affect your work badly in any way, so I kept it to myself.
Don't be silly, babe. You need to think about yourself sometimes too. Everyone at work's really understanding, so please don't worry about that. What actually happened?
Apparently, Sylvie fell pregnant and came back to your folks' place for her home birth.
Wait, what? My sister is pregnant? Since when? That's the first I've heard of it.
Oh wow, you mean she didn't tell you either? She says she's 8 months gone already.
8 months?
Right? I was surprised too. She only told me the day before I came back home. Then she basically ordered me to go to your folks' place, where I was apparently obliged to be your personal servant, carer, and waitress, and expected to cater to her every whim at a moment's notice. Naturally, your mom and dad always have her back 100%, so I'm basically stuck in a house where it's constantly 3 versus 1. To tell you the truth, I'm finding it a little difficult. On the other hand, she most certainly is very pregnant. And out of consideration for the baby, I don't want to do anything that might cause her stress. I feel kind of trapped.
Oh no, Anya. I think maybe it's best you come and stay with me. How does that sound?
Huh?
I know you stayed there to begin with because you had your own job to think about, and my transfer was only ever meant to last a year at the longest. But you started working from home after I moved away, which means you don't necessarily need to be in that house for work, right?
You do have a point. I've been working from home for about 6 months now, and what with everything that's been going on in the world, upper management decided recently that this style of working would be made permanent.
Well then, surely we can make it work somehow if you come out here to live with me. Besides, if you come soon while I'm still away on transfer, it'll be easier for us to figure out where we want to live next after my transfer period comes to an end. And at that point, we could just up sticks and leave together.
You make some good points. I'm gonna talk to my boss about this. I am technically classed as a remote worker, but I do still have to go into the office 2 or 3 times a month. The company covers my travel cost, but if I was to come and live with you in Delaware, they'd be covering plane tickets, which I kind of feel like I should let them know about in advance. You'd also have to make your place work from home suitable before I arrived.
Ah, I see. I never thought of that stuff. You're right. It's best we have all of our bases covered. One thing I can guarantee you is that the internet here is about as fast as it gets. I can convert the spare bedroom into a study too. Just say the word.
In that case, I'm pretty sure they'll give me the go-ahead right away. I have a few loose ends to tie up and some things to pack though, so would you mind waiting a little longer?
Sure thing. I just want you to know that you're welcome here anytime.
Thank you, Charlie.
Sylvie, I made up my mind. I don't need you.
You don't need me?
You were so lively and cheerful when you came back to stay with us. It seemed like you had nothing to do, so I thought it only made sense to have you wait on my every move. But you haven't been looking after me at all. I actually feel worse off for having you around.
That's hardly my fault when I have work to do, is it? Do you want me to get fired? I always go out of my way to keep an eye on you and make sure you're comfortable and have everything you need when I'm not working.
Not good enough. I'm simply and not satisfied with your service. My mommy will be taking care of everything from here on out, so you needn't bother coming near me anymore. Get out of this house right now. You're a negative influence on me and my baby. If you stay here even a second longer, it'll probably come out disabled. My morning sickness gets 100 times stronger every time I see your repulsive face.
Huh? Weren't you saying the other day how pleased you are that you hardly get morning sickness at all?
Shut up! I don't want to hear another word from you. Get out, get out, get out! Let me make this clear. Your very existence itself irritates me. Get out of this house at once, you barren wasteland of a woman. You couldn't even give my big brother a baby, could you?
You should know I'm never coming back if you change your mind and regret this. You won't be my problem anymore.
I never want to see your gross, disgusting face again.
Thanks for saying that. I'm actually more relieved to hear that than you could know.
Huh?
I've decided to go and live with Charlie in Delaware. I'm really grateful for your blessing. I was kind of stressing over how you might react, but with still not having give birth and all.
Huh?
Anya? Are you on your way now?
Hey, Charlie. Yeah, I'm just getting ready to board the plane. I'll lose signal, but it's not a long flight, so I should be back with you in an hour or so. Then, 3 trains later, I'll be knocking on your door.
Anya, listen. I just received word that Sylvie's been rushed away in an ambulance.
Wait, what? Why?
Apparently, she started getting severe stomach pains after eating my mom's cooking.
Your mom's cooking? Oh no. She didn't, did she?
Yeah, I think she did. It's always been a rule in our household to check that the ingredients in Mom's section of the fridge aren't out of date or rotten before using them. No exceptions. It's been over 8 years since Sylvie flew the nest to go live on her own for college. And I'm guessing she totally forgot about Mom's unsanitary culinary habits.
Oh my, I think you might be right. I'd been cooking all of her meals since the moment she came back. Come to think of it, I don't think your mom cooked for her even once.
Not only that, but you've been cooking all of our family's meals for the last 2 years. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, without fail, every single day. Your food's not only delicious and safe to eat, but you made everything with a healthy balance of vitamins, nutrients, and minerals in mind. My family's probably never been this healthy. As a result, I think they might have let their guard down. They took your cooking for granted, and then when you were gone, well, this happened.
Obviously, I hope Sylvie's okay, but how's the baby? Have you heard anything?
Last I heard that she was experiencing labor pains and that she was most likely going to have the baby prematurely at the hospital.
Oh no, isn't that bad?
It's not great, but don't worry, you don't have to go. I took an emergency vacation from work and I'll be heading down on the first flight tomorrow morning.
Are you sure? I really don't mind.
I think it's for the best you don't. I can just see it now. My sister hurling nonsensical abuse at you from her hospital bed the moment you walk in about how this is all your fault. Things might change and we might need you to come on short notice, in which case I'll contact you. But for the time being, I'd really appreciate if you could just hold tight.
Okay, I understand.
Hey Anya, I'm sorry it took so long messaging you.
Hey Charlie, it's fine. How's Sylvie and the baby? Are they both okay? I've been really worried about them.
The birth went by without a hitch. I have a healthy 8-pound baby nephew. Sylvie's fine too, but... How to put this? Another problem seems to have emerged.
Another problem? What happened?
Okay, so you know how Sylvie's husband is white?
Yes?
And you know how Sylvie's also white?
Yes, of course. What does this have to do with anything?
The thing is, the baby's black.
What?
Anya! Hello? Anya? Please, will you come back? Pretty please with a cherry on top. My brother knows how to cook for himself. He'll be fine on his own. You'll be able to come back, won't you? Won't you? You should be prioritizing me and my little boy. I'm in the mother of all pinches here, Anya. Please. Oh my god, how did things get this way?
Hello, Sylvie. I'm glad to hear you and your son are okay. I hate to have to tell you this, but even if I was to come back, I wouldn't be able to look after you like I was doing before.
Why not?
Things at work started going great when I moved out to Delaware to be with Charlie. He's really understanding of my remote work situation and goes to every effort to accommodate me. We also split the housework evenly. He's such a darling. I feel lucky to have him.
But I'm struggling here. How can you live with yourself being all happy and content like that when I'm out here struggling? Looking after a newborn baby is so hard, you wouldn't believe. My gosh, how do people even do this? Not only that, but Mom's cooking is so bad, I fear for my life every time I eat.
Your mom's cooking?
It seems like me getting rushed away in an ambulance wasn't enough to make her learn her lesson. Because she insists on making me her special dishes every day without so much as a glance at expiration dates or whether there's a mold on the ingredients. I had no choice but to start cooking for myself. Can you imagine if my little Tyrone ate something she concocted? Not only that, but I caught her force feeding him honey from a bottle with "not suitable for infants" clearly written on the label. He's only supposed to be on breast milk, but she keeps trying to feed him additive-riddled grown-up food. And rotten additive-riddled grown-up food at that. That woman is dangerous. My dad lacks a spine to do anything but look the other way and pretend it isn't happening, so he's no help either.
Where's your husband in all this?
He divorced me. Ugh, don't ask the questions you already know the answer to.
I see. So we really did end up divorcing over that, huh? Well, what about little Tyrone's real dad? What happened with him?
I don't know. He disappeared.
What?
Forget all that. None of it matters now. The point is you need to come home. You need to come home now. My ex-husband wants nothing to do with me. My only choice now is to raise him at my parents' house while trying to avoid either of us being hospitalized again by my mom's lethal cooking. The only people who were ever capable of keeping this place in functioning order were you and my brother. Please, me and Tyrone need you. Stop your complaining and just help us already. Ugh!
Nope, sorry, but I really can't do that.
Why not? I'm begging you here. Have you ever seen me like this? Have you? I'm not doing it for fun, I promise you. Please, I'm desperate here.
I have a question for you, Sylvie. Did you notice how unhealthy living with you made me?
Huh?
Not only did your mom force me to do all the housework and cooking, but when you showed up out of nowhere, so pregnant you were ready to burst and demanded I be your live-in carer going on slave. To make matters worse, none of you seemed to understand the meaning of remote work and interrupted me upwards of 20 times a day, resulting in me barely ever getting anything done. My body was sending me desperate signals to get out. Then Charlie sent me a lifeboat and invited me to live with him, so here I am, finally recovering while being reminded what it's like to live a normal life. And you suddenly demand I throw all of that away to come back and live with you guys in the madhouse?
You can't blame us for that. I bet you just weren't looking after your health properly, or not scheduling properly or something. That's got nothing to do with us. Don't you dare try and blame your poor lifestyle choices on me and my family.
I see. Yeah, there's no way I'm coming back.
Why?
Good luck with everything. Goodbye.
Sorry for the sudden interruption. I'm going to assume that this is Jane's mother's phone number that I'm texting, correct? I am her fiancé David's father, and you can call me Michael.
Sorry for not having gotten in touch with you any sooner. My name is Laurel. I think the last time we spoke to one another was years ago when they first started dating, right?
I was able to get your phone number from David.
Yes, I heard about that from him. Sounds like you have something to ask me about, so what could that be?
Well, then allow me to get to all of that right now. Understanding that something like Jess's family having only been her and you, that would make for a bad picture of us, and I'm therefore going to ask that you do not come to her wedding in 2 days.
What? By that, do you mean that you're upset with the fact that I'm her only parent currently?
Correct, that's what I'm saying. Just the idea of someone having only been raised with one parent is a bad one.
I understand that, but what about the rest of the family that will be going to the wedding?
I have people that I can have stand in for you, so there won't be any problems there.
You're having people stand in? I can't believe this. What have Jess and David said about all of this?
Considering I'm the head of this house, those two will listen to everything I have to say about it and abide by it. I just need you to stay quiet and make sure not to show up to the wedding on the day of.
No way.
Anyhow, I'm going to need you to cut ties to Jess. I'm already having to take on someone like your daughter who had a stunted education and everything under you, so you should be more than thankful for that. If you really care for your daughter's happiness any, you won't speak about any of this to her.
Laurel, hello. Do you have a moment to talk?
Hello, David.
Would you like to come with Jess and I to the wedding tomorrow in my car?
What?
You're the one who'll be handling things like Jess's makeup and her hairstyling, right? We should arrive at the wedding venue around the same time anyway, so wouldn't it be best if you came along with us both in the same car? Your house is on the way for us anyway, so if you don't mind, come along.
Thank you, but David, have you not heard anything from your father about me?
From my dad? Now that I think about it, he did say that yesterday he took some time to talk with you over text. Don't tell me he was being rude to you about something.
He was talking to me. I'm sorry to have to say things like this about him to his own son, but I have no other choice, it seems.
What the heck did my dad end up saying to you?
Do you want to take a look at all the things he sent to me yesterday? I think sending you the screenshots would be a much more efficient way of handling this, instead of me trying to explain things.
That's a good point. You can send me those screenshots. Wait! If you don't mind this, how about I make my way over to your house right now, and you can show me everything he said to you in person. And if things require it, we can begin to talk about how to deal with my dad right away.
If you're going to be coming, then can you bring Jess along as well?
Of course I can. She already said to me that she wants to come, so we'll be coming together.
Understood. I'll see you both soon, then.
Excuse me, Laurel. Why have you come to the wedding venue today? I already told you not to come, didn't I? I can see that you're over in the bride's changing room as well right now, so what do you think you're up to there?
Good morning, Michael. I don't think anything is going to be able to change the fact that I'm the bride's mother and have a right to be at her wedding today. And I'm not up to anything bad by being here.
If not, then leave!
But I'm in the middle of some tasks I was asked to handle by the bride and groom themselves.
Tasks? Oh, perhaps you work as a janitor or something like that? I remember you saying back when we'd first met one another that you work in a field where you clean people up and make them feel pretty, all while giggling about it.
So you remember the way I was laughing about it then, but nothing about the actual field of expertise that I'm in?
Huh?
I'm really sorry to stop things here, but I'm in the middle of prepping the bride for her wedding day, so I must go.
Hey! You get the hell out of here right now! I told you already that the bride having only one parent, and that being only her mother, is a bad look for us. Someone who should have already cut ties to her daughter shouldn't be coming into here thinking she can be around us.
David, I started to get some more texts from your father.
Is that right? As expected, he's really gone and done it to himself.
Yep, unfortunately he did. Do you want to come over here and see me to take a look at everything he said? And then I will leave everything there after in your hands.
Sure thing, I'll be there right away. Dad, you go home right now.
What?
I don't want you to be at my wedding anymore.
David!
I just spoke with both Mom and Grandma a second ago, and the both of them are furious with you now.
What are you going on about right now, David? If you don't have the both of your parents there during your wedding, you're going to make a bad image for yourself.
And you've gone and made a terrible image for yourself by acting like a complete and total jackass to Jess's mother. But it seems you don't quite get that yet.
What are you talking about?
Jess's mother works as a hairstylist. And not just any stylist, but one working at the top hair salon here in this city. She does the hair of so many celebrities that you probably can't even count them all.
What? She works at a hair salon that even celebrities are going to?
That's right, and it's the exact same place that both Mom and Grandma have been going to for years now, and are very familiar with Jess's mother because of it. And the only reason Jess and I were able to meet in the first place was because of their relationships. Then, here's something that I think you of all people will find very important, Dad.
What is it?
It seems that a lot of those hair salons have been left under the supervision of Cameron. And you know that Cameron has plenty of other businesses that he's taking care of as well, right? And the main company that he's in charge of happens to be a massive business partner of the company you're working at, Company W.
What?
He happens to be Jess's brother, but you never met him before because all of the times you guys were around, he was busy with things like the businesses. But you did get his business card at one point, correct?
His business card? So that's what that business card was all about?
Don't tell me you threw that card away or something. So you did toss it.
I thought he was going to try talking to me some more later on about how he wanted to sell me his lovely company or something, considering he never had a father growing up to make him into a proper businessman.
Jesus! So you didn't even have a look at his business card to see the kind of man he is. And when you were told about where Jess's mother has been working, you didn't listen to any of that either. Seems neither your eyes or ears are of any use to you then.
What? How dare you say things like that to your father? Everyone and their mother knows that fatherless households like theirs are utter disgraces. Sorry that you can't seem to wrap your head around that or anything. That is why I asked for Laurel to stop talking to Jess anymore, so that this family's image didn't have to be stained by her.
I see. And here's a response from Cameron, the CEO of Company W, to what you've said to his mother. Then, this is the end of my company and your company's relations as well, correct?
What?
Dad, you were the one in charge of business relations between Company W and your company, right? Seems that you've been causing a lot of trouble for Cameron's company and the man he left in charge of relations with you, all because he's a bit younger than you. Well, just a couple of days ago, on Friday to be exact, that man went and made a complaint to your company about how you've harassed him.
He complained?
Your company was told that as long as you are overseeing the business relations, there would be no more business between you guys and Company W.
What was that?
In preparations for this wedding today, you took off that Friday, right? Well, when it comes to this Monday, you're going to be hearing all about what's happened while you've been out of the office. And here's a word from your CEO of Company A.
Huh? My CEO is here right now with you guys?
Cameron happens to be close friends with your CEO, and considering how long they've been friends for, he's also family friends with Laurel and Jess. In other words, not another person here has the same kind of skewed views on people like Laurel that you do, and not a single one of us wants you around.
No way!
If you understand what I've said, then hurry up and leave this place right now. If I have to have a father like you around during my wedding, I'll be more than embarrassed. I'm also going to be cutting ties to you now.
Wait a minute, David. If you do something like that to me, then you'll have to say goodbye to both your grandma and mother as well. Are you really okay with something like that?
The only person I'm cutting ties to is you, Dad.
What? What are you talking about?
If you have no intent to celebrate the joining of this family with Jess's, then you can grab your things and leave this place right now. I've already gone and told the staff about what you've done and what to do with you.
Oh, wait!
Just go the hell home.
Laurel, please, can you find some way to talk my wife out of what she's thinking?
Good evening, Michael. That must mean that the talks about divorce are going well for her?
That's correct. I would really like you to go and have a word with her right now to try and avoid this divorce, or else...
I hear that she's the owner of that house and everything, so if you get divorced by her, you have to go.
That's absolutely right.
I heard this from your wife as well, about how back in middle school you had to start living in a fatherless household.
What?
I'm not sure what kind of person your mother was, or in what way she raised you that led to you becoming the pathetic man you are now, but with you so against me and the person I am, that must mean that you are also against your own mother and downright hate her, correct?
Yes, that's right. She was divorced by my father because she was too ugly and useless for him. I wanted to go with my father after the divorce, but my mother took custody of me anyway. I hated my mother because she put me into that fatherless household and would be gone day after day working, yet still not make enough to get us out of poverty. Also, she'd never bother to care for me, and that's why I hate her more than anyone else.
So, she was having to work her butt off in order to take care of her only child?
Had she just forgiven those 1 or 2 times of cheating?
Huh?
Had she just done that, then I would have never had to have grown up like that without my father around. I'm sure the same thing can be said for you, right? Even if you've raised 2 excellent kids, you're never going to free yourself of being that crappy parent to your children. Any mother who is divorced by their husband has to be completely useless.
Speaking about me like that will only hurt you more. Because the reason I ended up being a single mother is due to my husband passing away to his chronic illness.
What?
Considering that this will most definitely be the last time you and I ever talk to one another, I don't want to say anything more to you. However, I will let you know one last thing, and that's for you to hurry up and fix that bias and attitude of yours before it ends up completely ruining your life.
Wait!
Goodbye now. There was something in Michael's last message that caught my attention. A certain phrase stood out. An affair once or twice? It made me wonder if there was more to the story, and as it turns out, my suspicions were correct. He had been having an affair with a female subordinate. Later on, I heard from his wife that this affair was added to the list of reasons for their divorce, alongside the original issues that had caused their relationship to break down. After that, things took a sharp turn for Michael. Even in his professional life, he was removed from his position in sales at the company and reassigned to a dead-end job with no external responsibilities, far from the important work he had been doing. From being a prominent figure in the company's business operations, he was demoted to a back-office position where he no longer had contact with clients or any meaningful projects. He became invisible, tucked away in a corner. Yet despite the drastic change in his work situation, he couldn't afford to quit. His wife had filed a substantial claim for alimony, which he was obligated to pay. On top of that, his age made finding new employment extremely difficult. In the end, no matter how humiliating it was to stay in such a lowly position, he had no choice but to stay. Day after day, he now sits at his desk carrying out menial tasks with no hope of returning to his previous status. The woman he had the affair with, on the other hand, did not fare much better. She chose to resign voluntarily from the company, likely pressured by the situation that had unfolded. The scandal surrounding their affair became too much to bear. After leaving her job, she was forced to pay alimony to Michael's wife as well. And ultimately, she returned to her hometown in the countryside. The shame and financial strain of the affair had left her with no other options. Imagining the lonely future that awaits Michael is nothing short of painful. Here was a man who, not too long ago, had everything: a stable career, a family, a comfortable life, but his own actions, fueled by selfish desires, led him down a path that cost him everything. The affair with his subordinate not only destroyed his marriage, but also derailed his career in ways he could never have anticipated. Michael was once well respected in his field. As a sales executive, he was the face of the company, often negotiating with clients and securing deals. He had a certain confidence about him, always walking through the office with his head held high. But that same arrogance might have blinded him to the consequences of his actions. Perhaps he thought he could juggle both his professional and personal indiscretions without being caught. But life rarely works out that way. His wife, who had stood by him through thick and thin, had every reason to leave. After all, this wasn't just about a single mistake. When he carelessly mentioned an affair once or twice, it revealed a deeper problem. He saw his infidelities as minor transgressions, dismissing the hurt and betrayal that they caused. It's no wonder that once the truth came out, his wife could no longer tolerate being in the marriage. Their divorce wasn't just a personal matter either. It rippled through Michael's professional life. The company likely wanted to distance itself from the scandal, and removing him from his position in sales was an easy way to minimize any damage. He went from being a key player to someone who could easily be forgotten. In the corporate world, once you lose your relevance, it's nearly impossible to regain it. Now, Michael spends his days in the shadows, performing trivial tasks that no one else wants to do. The irony is that despite all this, he cannot leave his job. The alimony payments to his ex-wife are a constant reminder of his mistakes, and he's trapped in this miserable routine, knowing that quitting would mean financial ruin. His pride might be bruised, but he has no choice but to endure the monotony, watching the years slip away from behind his desk. As for the woman he had the affair with, her fate seems equally grim. In a sense, she was a casualty of Michael's recklessness, though she too made her own choices. Voluntarily resigning from the company was likely an attempt to escape the shame of being known as the other woman, but it came at a great cost. After paying her share of the alimony, she retreated to the countryside, where her career prospects are likely limited. One can only imagine the isolation she must feel now. Together, their affair not only destroyed their lives, but also left a trail of pain and regret. Michael, once so confident and full of himself, is now facing the reality of a lonely and desolate old age. The choices he made in pursuit of temporary pleasures led to permanent consequences. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.